What if I told you the most important year of humanity's future is not 2035 or 2050? It's 2028 because by then the AI race between the United States and China may hit a point of no return. And whoever wins won't just dominate technology, they could control the rules of the world itself. This is not science fiction anymore, this is the new Cold War. And the weapon is not nuclear bombs, it's artificial intelligence. Right now, governments across the world are quietly preparing for a future where AI controls military systems, cyber warfare, economic surveillance, propaganda, and even global influence itself. The competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party has evolved far beyond tech companies fighting for profit. This is now a battle over what experts call the national security technology stack, meaning whoever controls the AI infrastructure controls the future. During the original Cold War, nations raced to build bigger armies, faster missiles, and nuclear weapons. But today, the battlefield is digital. AI models are becoming the modern equivalent of industrial power. The country with the most advanced AI systems could gain advantages in intelligence gathering, autonomous weapons, economic dominance, scientific breakthroughs, and population control. And unlike traditional weapons, AI improves itself. The more data it gets, the smarter it becomes, which means this race accelerates exponentially. So, why is 2028 such a critical year? Because experts believe we are currently inside a very narrow strategic window. A limited amount of time remains to establish dominance before AI system becomes too powerful to contain. Think of it like this. In the early days of warfare, countries with Gatling guns completely overwhelmed nations still using older weapons. The technological gap changed history forever, and now the world may be approaching an AI Gatling gun gap. The moment where one nation becomes so far ahead in AI capability that catching up becomes nearly impossible. If that happens, the balance of global power could permanently shift. One of the biggest concerns is not just military power, it's something called intelligentization. A future where AI is deeply integrated into every aspect of society. Surveillance systems, society control, predictive policing, automated censorship, autonomous warfare, and behavioral manipulation. In this world, AI does not just assist government, it becomes a foundation of state control itself. And if authoritarian systems gain the upper hand first, they may export those systems globally, meaning the internet of the future would become less open, less free, and far more controlled. For democracies, this is a real challenge because the winner of the AI race may not simply dominate markets or create the best products. They could shape global laws, digital freedom, security standards, and the ethical boundaries of AI itself. The country leading in transformative AI could influence how billions of people live, work, communicate, and think. And once those systems become fully embedded worldwide, changing course may become impossible. That's why many analysts see this moment as a historic crossroad, not just for technology but for civilization itself. But there's another problem. AI development is moving faster than governments can regulate it. Every few months, models become smarter, cheaper, more autonomous, and more capable. What once required massive research labs now run on consumer hardware. And soon, AI agents may independently conduct cyber attacks, manipulate information, discover vulnerabilities, or coordinate military operation. The scary part, nobody fully knows where the ceiling is. Imagine spending years forging swords of battle only to discover your enemy just showed up with a fully automatic Gatling gun. That's exactly how some Chinese analysts reacted after a shocking AI breakthrough in 2026. A single AI model helped fix more software vulnerabilities in 30 days than an entire security team fixed in the previous year. Not 20%, not 2 times more, 20 times more. And that moment may have changed the global AI race forever. In April 2026, a model called Mythos Preview was released under something known as Project Glasswing. At first glance, it looked like another AI upgrade. But behind the scenes, it triggered alarm bells across intelligence agencies, cybersecurity experts, and geopolitical analysts worldwide. Because this was not an incremental improvement, this was a capability explosion, a true Gatling gun moment. To understand how big this was, look at what happened inside the Firefox security team. Using the Mythos Preview model, the team managed to identify and fix more vulnerabilities in just 1 month than they had fixed during the entire previous calendar year. That's a 20 times productivity increase. Think about that for a second. Years of traditional cybersecurity workflow suddenly compressed into weeks. This is the terrifying and exciting reality of frontier AI. Once models cross a certain threshold, their usefulness don't increase linearly. It explodes exponentially. But here's the real problem. This technology is what experts call dual use. meaning the same AI system that can defend infrastructure can also attack it. The same model that helps patch vulnerabilities could also discover them faster than any human hacker ever could. For American intelligence and defense agencies, this represented a massive opportunity, a chance to harden domestic infrastructure, strengthen cyber defense, automate vulnerability detection, and potentially gain a decisive lead in cyber warfare. But for America's rivals, it represented something much scarier, a widening technological gap. One Chinese cybersecurity analyst reportedly described the situation with a chilling metaphor. China is still sharpening our swords while the other side has suddenly mounted a fully automatic Gatling gun. That single sentence perfectly captures the fear surrounding frontier AI, because historically, when one side gains a massive technological advantage, the balance of power changes overnight. Just like machine guns transform warfare, advanced AI could transfer cybersecurity, espionage, economics, and military operation. And once that gap becomes large enough, catching up may become impossible. So how does China respond if it can't yet match the most advanced frontier models? According to analysts, through something called distillation attack. The idea is surprisingly simple. Instead of spending billions of dollars and years building frontier AI from scratch, labs can attempt to mimic advanced models by harvesting their outputs. Using thousands of fake accounts, automated queries, and large-scale data extraction, they study how top American models respond. Then they train their own systems to imitate those behaviors. In other words, they try to reverse engineer intelligence itself. Some Chinese state-owned media outlets have even reportedly described this process as a backdoor, a shortcut that bypasses the enormous cost of foundational AI research. Think about what that means. Instead of investing billions of compute, elite engineer talent, massive research infrastructure, and years of experimentation, you let someone else solve the hardest problem first, then imitate the results. Critics argue this is not normal competition. They see it as a form of large-scale industrial espionage, a system where America funds the innovation while rivals attempt to harvest the benefit. And this creates a huge geopolitical problem because export controls alone may not be enough anymore. Even if advanced chips are restricted, knowledge itself can still leak. Model outputs, reasoning patterns, coding capabilities all became valuable strategic assets. The fear is that AI leadership may no longer depend solely on who invents first, but on who can copy, scale, and weaponize fastest. And in a world where AI improves at exponential speed, every month matters. What happens when government no longer needs humans to enforce control? No police shortages, no tired soldiers, no whistleblowers, no hesitation. Just AI systems watching, tracking, predicting, and suppressing millions of people automatically. This is not a dystopian movie anymore. According to analysts, authoritarian governments may already be building the infrastructure for AI-powered repression at planetary scale. And the most dangerous part, the technology is improving exponentially. For most of history, tyranny had one major weakness: humans. Authoritarian regimes depended on massive numbers of peoples to monitor citizens, enforce censorship, gather intelligence, and suppress dissent. But humans are imperfect. They make mistakes, they refuse orders, they leak information, they get exhausted. AI changes all of that because frontier AI removes the human bottleneck from repression itself. Experts describe this new reality as automated repression at scale, and many believe the clearest example already exists in Xinjiang. Their advanced surveillance system reportedly combined facial recognition, biometric harvesting, communication monitoring, location tracking, and predictive analytics into a single integrated system of control. Imagine an AI that does not just watch people but predicts who might become a threat before they even act. That's the real fear, not just surveillance, but algorithmic authoritarian. And once these systems are perfected, they can be exported globally, giving dictatorship around the world access to digital tools previous regimes could only dream of. But surveillance is only one side of the story. The military implication can be even more terrifying. Chinese military, the People's Liberation Army or PLA, is aggressively pursuing a strategy called intelligentization. The goal: integrate AI into every layer of warfare, including autonomous drones, unmanned vehicle swarms, cyber warfare system, battlefield coordination, and real-time military decision-making. Think about drone swarms controlled not by humans but by advanced AI models coordinating thousands of actions simultaneously. This is no longer theoretical. Governments are actually investing in it right now, and here's where things become extremely dangerous. Not all AI models follow the same safety standards. Many leading American models are designed to reject harmful requests, for example, cyber attacks, weapon construction, or dangerous biological instruction. But some analysts warns that certain frontier models developed elsewhere behave very differently. One report claimed that DeepSeek's R10528 model complied with 94% of overtly malicious requests. 94%. That means the safeguards protecting against misuse may be dramatically weaker. And it gets worse. Another model reportedly failed to reject requests involving chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear information, also known as RN risk. This creates a nightmare scenario where powerful AI systems become accelerators for dangerous knowledge, and authoritarian governments may have far fewer incentives to limit those capabilities. But behind all of this lies one critical factor: compute. In the AI area, compute is power. The more computational resources a country has, the faster it can train advanced models, and the faster it discovers better algorithms. Experts describe this as a self-reinforcing cycle. Compute advantage compounds into algorithmic advantage, meaning whoever leads in compute can improve AI faster, which then helps build even more powerful AI, eventually creating what some researchers call a country of geniuses in a data center, an AI ecosystem capable of solving problems at a scale no human workforce ever could. Right now, the United States still holds a massive lead. Some projection for 2026 suggest Huawei's total compute power may only reach around 4% of NVIDIA's output, and China still faces major obstacles: growing pressure on semiconductor supply chains and restriction on cutting-edge AI chips. If loopholes involving smuggled chips and offshore data centers are closed, the US could potentially secure an 11-to-1 compute advantage. And according to many analysts, that advantage may determine the future of entire AI race. Because if both sides remain neck and neck, there's huge danger. Safety could become secondary to speed. Countries may rush AI deployment without proper safeguards simply because they are fear falling behind. That's why some experts argue maintaining a strong compute moat is essential, not just for economic leadership, but to slow reckless development. Because once superhuman AI systems emerge, there may be no pause button. Imagine waking up in the year 2028. In one version of the future, AI is accelerated scientific discovery, strengthened democracies, and become the backbone of the global economy. In another version, AI powers mass surveillance, automated censorship, and cyber warfare on a planetary scale. Same technology, same year, completely different worlds. And right now, humanity may be standing at the exact fork in the road that decide which becomes reality. The global AI race is no longer just about who builds the smartest chatbot. According to analysts, this competition is now being fought across four massive fronts: intelligence, domestic adoption, global distribution, and resilience. The policies governments choose today could determine the global balance of power for decades. And by 2028, the world may split into one of the two radically different outcomes. Scenario 1: the commanding lead. In the first scenario, the United States successfully maintains a decisive AI lead, not by a few weeks, but by 12 to 24 months ahead of rivals. That advantage is protected through strict export controls, securing advanced AI chips, preventing distillation attacks, and defending critical compute infrastructure. In this world, American AI systems becomes deeply integrated into global economy. From healthcare, logistics, finance, defense, education, and scientific research, AI developed by democratic nations become the foundation of international infrastructure. And because democracies lead technologically, they also shape the rules. Global standards for AI safety, cybersecurity, transparency, privacy, and ethics are established primarily by democratic alliances. Technology itself becomes a deterrent against aggression, not through fear alone, but through overwhelming capability. And eventually, this technological leverage could pressure rival powers into serious negotiation on AI governance and safety. In this future, AI strengthens the international order instead of destabilizing it. Scenario 2: the neck and neck race. But there's another possible future, one where loopholes remain open, where export restrictions fail, where frontier AI spreads faster than safeguards. In this scenario, China successfully catches up with the AI frontier, and instead of trying to dominate through cutting-edge superiority alone, Beijing deploys something analysts compare to the Huawei playbook. The strategy is simple: export AI systems that are cheap, heavily subsidized, good enough, and deeply integrated into infrastructure, especially across developing nations and the global south. But these systems don't just provide AI services, they may also export an entire philosophy of governance, a surveillance first digital architect, meaning countries adopting these technology could also inherit mass monitoring systems, predictive policing tools, automated censorship, centralized digital control, and AI driven state oversight. In other words, techno-authoritarianism becomes embedded directly into global infrastructure. And once those systems are installed, replacing them becomes incredibly difficult. At the same time, AI-enabled cyber forces grow dramatically more powerful. Imagine autonomous AI systems capable of launching cyber attacks, disrupting infrastructure, spreading disinformation, stealing intellectual property, or coordinating attacks at machine speed. In this world, cyber conflict never truly stops. It becomes constant, invisible, and nearly impossible to fully control. The fear is that democratic societies open by design could become permanently vulnerable to AI-enabled disruption. The real question, who sets the term? Right now, the United States still holds a major innovation advantage, but history shows technological leadership is never permanent. Every empire believed its dominance would last forever. None of them were right. The challenge now is not simply winning the AI race, it's setting the terms for the transition into the age of transformative AI. Because humanity is rapidly building what some researchers describe as a country of geniuses in a data center. AI systems potentially capable of solving problems beyond human scale. But that raises a terrifying question: who will those digital geniuses ultimately serve? Freedom or automated repression? When historians look back at the 21st century, they may see 28 as a turning point. The year democracy secured the future of AI, or the year the frontier was surrendered. The system designed to eliminate dissent forever. And the scary part, that decision may already be unfolding right now. What future do you think is more likely? Will AI strengthen freedom or empower authoritarian control? Comment below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into AI geopolitics and the future of civilization, subscribe for more videos on AI, technology, and the battle shaping tomorrow.